To this day, I think about how this was accidental because it didn't feel accidental. It felt intentional. It was poop everywhere. It was everywhere. Let me tell you what happened. It's about unbelievable. And this is going to be a warning to anybody that gets grossed out. I'm about ready to tell a pretty nasty story. So, hey everyone, it's Lindey. Welcome back to my channel. So the store is actually closed today, but I am still here because I have some items that sold on Facebook and I needed to get them all bagged up. So I figured I would take this moment to show you a few more items that sold for me on my business Facebook page. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to tell you a little bit of a story. You guys seem to really like whenever I tell stories while I'm bagging stuff up and just doing some general business work. So today I want to tell you the story of why exactly my store does not have public bathrooms. When I first opened up the store, I did think that I was legally obligated to have public restrooms, but fortunately, I'm in the wonderful state of Kansas. And in the state of Kansas, I am not legally required to have restrooms open to the public. And it's a good thing too, because you would not believe the kind of crap that I saw in the very, very short amount of time that I did allow customers to use our bathrooms. It was also very fortunate, the locations of my bathrooms, because it was super easy for me to just simply lock them up and say that there's no public restrooms at all. Let me show you exactly where my bathrooms are located so you can see kind of why those bathrooms presented a problem being open to the public and how easy it was for me to just simply lock them down. And then I'll tell you why I had to do all that. So let me take you back there. This is where the only bathroom is in the entire store. We did only have this employees only sign up for the longest time. But as you can see, we have added to that restricted area and no public bathrooms. But we did always have this on here, and we just simply, told customers where the bathrooms were in the event that they needed to use the bathroom. But of course, this back area presents a problem because this is a back door to the back side of the building. Someone could just come straight outside, have a car waiting for them, which is what happened. And we have two bathrooms here. I know it's messy back here. It's just because there's nobody allowed back here. There's one bathroom, two bathroom, and then this was our employee back area with lockers and fridge and everything. And this is where we would store all of our stuff. We did used to keep some stuff here in this corner that we were currently working on, but of course we had to move that for, reasons expressed in the stories I'm telling. But yep, no more customer potties. Okay, so now that you get the gist of the problem area at hand, I'm gonna start bagging up some stuff and tell you why I had to close off my bathrooms to the public. The first item I am bagging up today is a wooden sofa armrest tray table. So this is one of those really cool tables that goes, well, that was kind of loud. It goes on the side of your couch, the arm of your couch, and it like hooks on. You can see it's spring loaded, and it gives you a little table on your couch if you don't have an end table or a coffee table, and you could put your drinks or food here while you watch TV. I believe that this was around $36 on Amazon, if I remember right. It was open box and potentially used, so I sold it on my Facebook page for $17. So I had expected that when I had bathrooms open to the public, I was gonna get typical things like destruction, clogged toilets, maybe some toilet paper theft, and it absolutely happened. We suspected things were getting stolen because we would find things like Amazon return bags in the trash can. And of course, we have no reason to put those in the trash. So we suspected that, people were going in there, maybe trying on clothes, wearing them out. Just like what would happen at, any retail space. I'm sure every single retail store deals with people's shenanigans in bathrooms regarding theft. We have no idea the amount of items that were stolen just from people going to use the bathroom, people taking merchandise in there, putting it in their pocket, strapping it into their bra, whatever they were doing. But because of the location of where the bathroom is in relation to the door just to the back side of the building, we were also having people just go in the bathroom, steal stuff, and then just simply run out the back door and hop into a getaway vehicle. This next item is a bottle cooler. So it just looks like a standard cooler, but it is specially designed and made to hold 6 bottles. It has a special cold pack. There we go. It has a special cold pack to sit in there so that it can keep 6 bottles chilled. It also is good for cans. So if you don't have a baby and you don't have a need to keep breast milk chilled or formula chilled, you can use it for canned soda. So something like this was on Amazon for somewhere around $17 or $18, and I sold it on our Facebook page for $9. Yeah, there was 2 instances where somebody just simply ran out the back door that we know of, because we can't like keep our eyes on that back door constantly. But when we notice somebody go back there, we make a mental note of somebody going back to the bathroom. We also have people ask us to use the bathroom because they have to ask us to use the bathroom because there's no, public restrooms that are directly inside the store. So if somebody needs to use the restroom, they're typically coming up to the front and asking because they don't see a bathroom. So they ask, where is the bathroom? And so when somebody asks where the bathroom is and we tell them, we make a mental note that someone has gone back there so that we can watch for them to come back out again. And when we don't see somebody come back out, it's pretty obvious that we need to check the cameras. We check the cameras. Sure enough, people just simply run out the back door. So we were already considering saying no public bathrooms, but honestly, I was really hesitant to do that in the beginning because at the time with the bin store model that we had, the people were here for hours and hours on end. We would have people standing in line for hours upon hours and then come in to shop. People got to pee, right? People got to use the bathroom. And so I was really worried that shutting the bathroom off entirely from customers would lessen people's shopping time. Because think about it. If someone's got to pee and they have to leave in order to use a bathroom, then they've got to check out and leave. I don't want people to leave. I want them to stay and shop because this is not a fast shopping experience, right? You have to dig through bins. You have to take your time, and not letting people use a bathroom cuts people's shopping time in half. Let's just be real. So I was really having to take the time to think, okay, is the theft losses going to offset the people that stay and shop? And that's a really hard decision to make because you really don't know. You don't know how much is actually getting stolen out of the back unless you catch it. You don't know how much destruction is going on unless you catch it. You don't know how many people are staying to shop and spend more money versus the losses. It's all an estimation and a wing and a prayer, essentially. This next item that sold is actually really cool. It's one of these wing pendant lights. So it's got the 4 wings that can be adjusted so you can put them down, you can put them straight up, and it's solar. So you can put it in a shed, you can put it outside somewhere. I have one of these lights in my garage, but it just simply screws into a light socket. The fact that this is solar is really awesome. So this one light was somewhere between $38 and $40 on Amazon. It was used and returned. We did test it and it does work. So when things are returned and used, of course, I give a little bit more of a discount. So I ended up selling this to somebody for $17 on our Facebook page. But I say all of that now, but let me tell you about the straw that broke the camel's back. This is a story. Oh, this lady. Oh, this minivan driving yoga mom. I'm allowed to make that stereotype because I saw what vehicle she got into after she pissed me off. It was fill-a-bag day, and fill-a-bag day is always a little bit crazy. We've even had issues with fill-a-bag day. Totally off topic. We used to keep all of the snacks for checkout in some of these back cabinets that's over by the clothing area. They are locked cabinets, but we've never had the key to actually lock them ourselves. But the fact that there's locks on them, I feel like has always deterred people from trying to open them because there's a couple that are locked and there's a couple that are not because we don't have the keys for them. So we used to store our checkout snacks in there, right? Well, on a fill-a-bag day, somebody realized this and had opened up the cabinets and was hiding back there in the crowd, just filling their bags with all of our checkout snacks. Somebody probably got $100 worth of Sam's Club checkout snacks shoved in their bag and only paid like 10 bucks for it. Really, really pissed me off. We know about it because they left the empty boxes in plain sight, like a couple of a-holes. So already, fill-a-bag causes people to be a little bit more shady than normal. If you don't know what fill-a-bag is, it's basically where we give someone a big bag like this and they're able to just fill it with whatever they can out on the floor, and then they only pay like $10 or $15 for the bag. That's what fill-a-bag is. We use fill-a-bag to kind of clear everything out because that's the only way that we truly get rid of, 90% or more of our inventory is with the fill-a-bag. So it was fill-a-bag day. So it was already a day of shenanigans when this minivan drive-in yoga mom comes into the store with her 2 kids. These organizer shelves are a little bit harder to see what they are because they need to be put together. But there are a couple of nesting shelves that have a wooden top and metal legs. They just go on the counters or in your cabinet so that you can like put more things in your cabinets. Sold these to somebody for $12. And it's also good that I use something like an Amazon photo to really show what these are because, you can't really photograph this and let people see exactly what it's supposed to be without putting them together. But they sold right away for 12 bucks. So this mom, I had no problem with her. She had 2 kids with her. They were doing the fill-a-bag thing. One of her kids needed to use the bathroom. So of course, like everybody does, she came up to the front and she had asked Leah if she could use the bathroom and asked where it was because her daughter needed to go. So Leah, of course, told her the door back there. It's the first one on the left. So this lady goes to the back to let her kids use the bathroom. No red flags, nothing. Shortly after that, I personally, wanted to go get my lunch out of the refrigerator. So I walked to the back and I had no idea that somebody was back there using the bathroom at the time. So I walked through that back door intending to go get my lunch out of the fridge. And the first thing I hear when I open that door is that woman say the words, "We'll open it and see what's in it." And I look and there is this mother and her 2 children, both children, huddled in the corner that I had showed you across from the second bathroom. And they were going through our security system boxes. So we have, a whole bunch of cameras and some electronic devices and stuff for the store. They were huddled in the corner opening boxes that were on a shelf that was clearly stuff that was not for sale. There is nothing back there for sale. It is quite obvious. It is not a customer shopping area. We have an employees only sign on the door. And this lady has the nerve to say to her kid, "Open it and see what's in it." I was freaking furious. I charged over there and I said, "None of this is for sale. What are you doing back here?" And the kids immediately throw everything down and take off. And the mother looks at me and says, "My kids needed to use the bathroom." And I said, "Okay, well, if they're done using the bathroom, please leave this area. This is an employee only area." And she got really pissy and she stormed off. So she comes charging out of the back room and she's holding a bag. So for all I know, she put stuff in her bag. So I follow her out and I say, "Ma'am, I need to see your bag before you check out." She throws it down and storms out the front door. So I look in her bag and I didn't see anything that was from the back room, but had I not walked back there, she probably would have put our freaking security cameras in it. I know. The first big mistake was letting her use the bathroom without asking her to leave her bag at the front. I get that. But again, at the time, Leah didn't think to ask her to leave her bag. She didn't seem threatening at all. It's not like we thought that she was going to go in the back room and start stealing all of our stuff. And of course, this is one of the many mistakes that I made when we first opened up. It's when I really did learn the whole concept of people show you how they need to be treated. And my customers need to be treated like children, apparently. This is a set of 6 feeding bowls that get mounted to a pet crate. So there's 6 different bowls in here. You could see the little mounting hardware. This really wasn't worth as much money as I expected, but I knew that one of my customers was going to want it, and I was right. So the set of 6 bowls is on Amazon for $18. I sold it to one of my customers for $13 for the set of 6. But if you can believe it, it's not over yet. That whole situation is not over yet. You would not believe the size of the balls on this yoga mom. And I know that I keep calling her yoga mom. It's because she looked like a stereotypical yoga mom. She was very thin and petite. She was wearing like a little workout outfit. She had the ponytail. She was wearing the ball cap. It's what I imagine a mom to look like on her way to yoga class. The thing she was missing was the rolled up yoga mat underneath her arm. So check out this item that I found in a pallet. My knockoff version and the real thing. Yes, this is a rose quartz 40-ounce Stanley Quencher 2.0. Yeah, brand new condition. It didn't have the box or anything. It was just in a bag. I checked and it looks like the prices have come down a lot. I know that Stanley cups were like really expensive for a while. I remember last Christmas, I think they were like $90 on eBay or something. This one was actually only $45, I think, on Amazon. So I sold it immediately on the page for 30 bucks. So after about 20 minutes has passed, I see the yoga mom come storming back into the store. Yeah, she came back. She had the balls to come back after that. And then she starts to yell at me. She started screaming at me about how rude I was and how I scared her kids. Literally, I scared her kids. So I am the one that did something wrong. She kept going on and on about how she didn't know that that stuff was off limits because customers were allowed to go back there. I told her, ma'am, no, none of that stuff is for sale. You walked through an employees only door. You used an employee's bathroom. That we were courteous enough to let her take her children back there. She violated a level of trust with us by going through our personal equipment. I also told her that it was not my fault that her children were scared that they were in trouble because she was the one instructing them to go through stuff. And I told her I didn't understand how she was claiming that she did not know that none of that stuff was available for sale when it was quite obvious it wasn't on the store floor. She was going through boxes of items that were on a shelf in a back room that no other customers were looking at. You know, when we're having a store event and there's shoppers, there is some level of common sense that is completely just non-existent with most of these customers. You know, just like this back area over here, this work area that we have, there can be no other customers in this work area, and there will be a customer just wander over there thinking that they have a right. They will even undo a stanchion to walk over there. You know, the stanchions, like the rope thing that keeps people out, supposedly keeps people out. People will just walk straight back there and start shopping. And we're like, what the hell are you doing? This is not a customer area. They'll be like, oh, sorry, I didn't know that I wasn't allowed back there because the stanchion's being roped off and the fact that there's no other customers over here was just not in my brain at the time. So this lady was claiming, and of course, I'm not stupid enough to actually believe her. The lady was claiming that she didn't know that it was an area with items that were not for sale because she was allowed to go back there. Completely disregarded the whole concept that there was no other customers that were back there at the time. So obviously that is not stuff that is for sale. But anyway, I digress about her. She went off on me for a little while. I let her say her piece, and then I kindly asked her to leave. She was cussing up a storm, swearing, being loud, and then she stormed off. And we never saw her again. It was at that moment that I decided that no more public bathrooms was going to be our new policy. I did not want people going back there anymore. Now, it was a Sunday, so there was no locksmiths available at the time. So I called and left a message with a mobile locksmith to come and change our locks. This next item that sold is a dash camera. It was a return and it has definitely been used, so I did not charge a lot of money for it. It's also kind of a no-name brand. I think it was only maybe $35 on Amazon or something. So I sold it for $18. So the next day, I got a return call from the locksmith. and he came out to put some locks on some doors. Basically what he did was he put a non-unlockable knob on both of the bathrooms, which basically means that when the door is shut, the door is locked. There's nothing that you can do to unlock that door. Like, there's no way to accidentally leave the door unlocked. If the door is shut, it stays locked. Only way that you have access to that bathroom is with a key or if it's left cracked open. I also had him change out the doorknob on the employee break room and storage area. That way, if we needed to lock the door, we could, but I did have him put the lock knob on it so that we could leave it unlocked if we wanted to, because it would be two different keys. And so we didn't want everybody to have to always have two separate keys in order to use the bathroom or go into the break room. So once people understood that the bathrooms were no longer available, they kind of stopped going back there. That actually took a really long time. It took probably 3 months of people that had used our bathroom before to just stroll back there on their own and realize that the door was locked. And that was actually one of these things that really pissed me off too, because I could do an entire video going off about how entitled people are. Because there's this whole idea that people had to ask to use the bathroom, but once they used it once, they thought that they were just entitled to walk back there all the time and use it. So it's like they would ask once, they would use the bathroom, and then they thought that they could just use it whenever the hell they wanted. And that really, really made me angry, because they are walking through a door that says employees only. And then after we put up the sign that said no public bathrooms, it's at eye level. Like, they open the door, like they have to push open the door and walk back there with it saying in front of their eyeballs, no public bathrooms. But they were so entitled by the idea of, well, I've used it before, so I'm going to go use it again, that they would just walk back there. That is the reason why I had the always locked doorknobs in place, because they would walk back there to use the bathroom, realize that they couldn't open the door, and it was kind of like, you know, tough. You're just going to have to come back out. And then they would come and ask us to unlock the door, and we would say, no more public bathrooms. So it took about 3 months for people to realize that the doorknobs were always going to be locked before people stopped walking back there. Finally, when people stopped walking back there all the time with their entitled attitude that they could use our bathroom whenever the hell they feel like it, then we started kind of leaving the break room door unlocked a little bit more often, because it was honestly starting to irritate everybody to need to take keys back there every single time they needed to access their locker or go get their lunch, you know, because they already had to have a key back there for using their bathroom. So it was definitely an annoyance, but after, you know, about 3 months of people realizing that the bathrooms were going to just be locked all the time, they stopped going back there. But that doesn't stop people from asking if they could use our bathroom. And we, for a little bit of time, we did let people go back there and use the bathroom if they were regulars that we saw all the time and we had a level of trust with them, or if someone had a medical need to use the bathroom, or if it was a very, very small child. We would go back there and unlock the bathroom door for you. But even then, people took advantage of that and were jerks about it. So we have tightened up who is allowed to use that bathroom so much. Now, the only people that I let use that bathroom are basically small children that are dancing around looking like they're about ready to pee their pants, or handicapped people, or people that have shopped with us since we've been open, and I trust that they're not going to do anything destructive in that bathroom. Because let me tell you what happened. It's about unbelievable. And this is going to be a warning to anybody that gets grossed out. I'm about ready to tell a pretty nasty story. So if you don't want to hear the story, thank you for watching up to this point, but it's about to get gross in here. Is a very, very large rope basket. It's roughly 2 feet by 18 inches. It's one of those big baskets for like storing blankets and stuff. This was roughly $26 on Amazon, and I sold it for $12 on our Facebook page. So to this day, I honestly don't know if this was deliberate or if this was just somebody who was vindictive and wanted to mess with us for some really, really odd reason. Because I know that, you know, some people have some issues with going to the bathroom, right? If people are a little bit older, you know, they might have issues with wiping, or they might have issues with making it to the toilet. Some people might have issues with cleanliness. I understand all of this. You know, I'm very sympathetic to it. My mother is a nurse. I've always been, you know, a very understanding person for the most part. But this lady, I could not believe the amount of grossness that she left in this bathroom. This is what happened. And that's all the stuff that I have to bag. So I'm just going to tell you the story, and then I'm going to go home for the day. There was this lady. She was probably in her early 50s, and she came to us and she said, I really, really need to use your restroom. Is there any way I can go? I don't think I'm going to make it anywhere else. And she was, you know, dead serious. She, you know, had her hand on her stomach. She's like, I really, really need to use the bathroom. I don't think I'm going to make it over to Walmart, because we got Walmart next door. Usually people would just like leave and go to the Walmart bathroom or whatever. She's like, I don't think I'm going to make it to Walmart. Please, please let me use your bathroom. And so, being sympathetic to a stomach problem she was probably having, I realized she probably needed to poop. She probably had diarrhea or something. She didn't act like she was going to vomit. She acted like she was going to poop her pants. And so I went ahead and I let her use the bathroom. So she was back there for probably 15 or 20 minutes maybe. And then we kept watching the door. Like I said, when we know somebody goes back there, we try to pay attention. So we saw her, you know, come back out. And so we just kind of forgot about it. We're like, okay, she did her business, whatever. She continued shopping. She checked out. She left. I was the next person to go use the bathroom after that. And I could not believe what I walked into. I walked into this bathroom, and the only thing that I could think to compare it to would be, if anybody has seen the movie Terrifier. Terrifier, if you haven't seen it, might not be your cup of tea, but in Terrifier, there's a scene where Art the Clown goes into the bathroom and just smears poop all over the place and like writes his name in poop on the wall. That's the only thing I could think to compare this to. There was poop streaks on the floor. There was poop streaks on the handicap bar that's next to the toilet. There was poop streaks on the toilet tank. There was poop streaks on the flushing handle. There was poop all over the toilet seat. There was poop on the sink basin, as well as the sink handle. And she obviously didn't want to use toilet paper to wipe. Instead, she used most of the roll of our paper towels. And there was just poop all over this long, because, you know, paper towels go long. There was poop all down paper towels that she threw in the trash can, but instead of staying in the trash can, it like unraveled and rolled out of the trash can. So outside of the trash can, there was this long strip of paper towels that just had poo streaks all down it, hanging out of the trash can. The roll of paper towels that she used to wipe, she left poop all over the outside of that roll. It was like in the cone. It was around, it was completely around the toilet paper roll. There was poop all over the bathroom. To this day, I think about how this was accidental, because it didn't feel accidental. It felt intentional. But what reason did this lady have to leave the bathroom in this state? Like, what reason did she have to leave the bathroom this way? If you're going to have, you know, issues in the bathroom, wouldn't you at least try to clean up after yourself? There was poop everywhere. It was everywhere. But anyway, after that happened, that's when we really locked down who was able to use the bathroom and who wasn't. Unless it's a regular customer that we recognize, that has, you know, been a good customer to us, we don't let anybody use the bathrooms anymore. Nope. All done with that. So thank you guys for hanging around for my story. What do you think in the comments? Do you think that that last lady Do you think that was intentional? To this day, I don't know. The amount of poop was ridiculous. I'm a mom. I've seen blowouts. I've seen how messy poop can get, and my mind was absolutely blown. It literally looked intentional, but there was no reason for her to do that to us. So it had to have been accidental. Was it just a sheer accident and she just was too lazy to clean up after herself? Freaking people, man. Well, to get more content from me, make sure that you are subscribed. Ring the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up on this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. YouTube really loves it when you thumbs up videos, and it really helps me out, so I really do appreciate it. Leave me any questions or comments down in the comments below. Don't forget to check the video description. I always put a lot of useful information in there for you guys. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you with my next video. Hopefully it's better than this one. Bye.